welcome to Troopers Travels. Welcome back. I've not done one for ages, have I? So today I'm doing an all-nighter. I'm going to stop overnight to a very historic village in Derbyshire. I gave a few clues. It's self-isolated in 1665 for reasons. It's got a well called Monpessor, and it's got some Riley graves. Have you any idea where it is? I think all clues are there, like, but if you've got it, well done. Now I'm going to try and get past here. This is a nightmare. Just 1 second. We're rucksacker. Oh, just bear with me. It's just easy, isn't it? Dear. Riley graves, Monpessor well. Quite a few things really. And Lingate graves. Well, I'm in Eyam, or Eyam as it's pronounced. So I'm going to have a look round. I'm stopping at Miners Ormston eat just for one night, and I thought I'd just share it with people. So I hope you enjoy it, and stay tuned, and I'll have a look round and show you some bits and bobs. See you in a bit. I think one place we went to is at Boundary Stone, which was southern boundary during the plague, what were here, in that 14-month period. So this were the end point where you could travel as far from the main village. Little bit damp today, unfortunately. I expected better weather, but I don't get it all the time, do I? But this is the southerly point, Boundary Stone, and I'll try and get to it. I think it's about 15 minutes away, and I'll explain what it was used for. But wait till we get a bit closer, because I think I'm about another 10 minutes before I get to it. Incidentally, this actually takes you to Stony Middleton. When you get to the top of this, where we go, and then you drop down. It's quite a steep slope. It's like a meadow. But there's a nice chip shop down here, but it's not open that often. But it's won awards apparently, so I don't think I'll get any of that today, like, but I keep saying I'm going to eat it at some stage when it's open, if I'm in the area. But we'll carry on anyway and see how we go with things. And I've got some new kit I can use later, so I'm going to see what that's like. So we'll try and do this first, and then we'll start going around the village up to museum, Riley graves and the Monpessor well. Okay, see you in a bit, bye. You just carry on that path. There's lots and lots of styles though, isn't there? Oh, there's other people coming as well. Oh, look at that. That's got some holes in it, hasn't it? But we'll go that way and find it. Could have picked a better day really. It's very sludgy, but at least the rain's held off now. Hello. So this is the way to Stony Middleton. I think that's Lover's Leap down there, where the story had it. A woman had split up with a bloke years and years and years and years ago, and she threw herself off that quarry cliff above Stony Middleton, and a dress caught, snagged onto trees, so she survived. But it was like a suicide attempt, which is not a nice thing, is it? But anyway, let's carry on up here and we'll find it. Up there, that's where the Riley graves are somewhere, so it's quite a walk from there, but I'll try and get that done. So we're just coming up to Boundary Stone now. You can see it in front if I can zoom in. And I'll give you a bit more information what this was for. A quick yonder down here, because it's pretty busy at the moment there. But this is Stony Middleton village below. Renowned for the first towcat boat, safety boats. It's some English and it's nice, but unfortunately we've got a bit of rain. I don't know if you're getting rain on lens, but we'll have a quick look. That's just Stony Middleton there. Down that side, there's a bank of rain coming in. Hey dear. That's Stony Middleton down here. And that is chip shop is down there on Main Road. There's a curry house and all on Main Road. More about this stone, this boundary stone. This is the southern boundary stone between Eyam and Stony Middleton. This is as far as they're allowed to go. It's a bit sludgy, let's go down here. So all these holes here were filled with vinegar. And merchants and the Duke of Devonshire, yeah, Chatsworth, it's the same starving and that, they used to bring goods and food. And what they used to do then, they used to leave money for the food. But they were in vinegar, so that's how you get the name Vinegar Well. So that's where the money were kept, in there. So they put the money in there, and it's supposed to have been a deterrent disease, the plague, to stop the infection. Obviously, the self-isolated village, and it was made obviously by monpessor and another guy. I'll tell you his name later. And obviously, they only allowed one out every so often prior to it plague fully kicking in. But the self-imposed quarantine, they have obtained the spread of disease, so it's don't act as a marker for residents deflected plague. But with that start anyway. That's one boundary we've got. One out of two. I'm not keen on the monpessor one because it's quite uphill, but I think I'll call into village first. I might actually do Riley Graves next and show you them, because that's quite an interesting story, a tragic story rather. Hancock family who lived in Riley Farm, but we'll get up there and I'll explain a bit about it. I think it's only about 20 minutes away, but it'll give me time to get back in village. Good to thing, and then when possible I'll do it some stage today. But I've got to check in my room at 2, so right, see you in a bit. Like I say, it's only about a 10-minute walk from tea rooms. You go to them Lidgate graves, just follow the road up and then just follow this path. It's about 10 minutes. But a bit of history, historic village. When you look at it with pandemic, with coronavirus, this was first village what ever did it, and that was 1600s, self-contained, like we had to do. Anyway, enough of that story. We'll move on now and we'll see what we can show you. Back to the village, and then I think we're going up that way, but I can't remember which way. I think it's past all the houses and then we go up an hill. The monpessor well, that's quite a steep, and also I'll be buggered when I get up there. But let's troop on, shall we? And this is my accommodation for the night. We'll do a room review and all. And that's where I'm staying for night. The Wesleyan Reformed Chapel, and this is where the Reverend Thomas Stanley, rector from Eyam 1644 to 1661, he's actually buried here, but he was one of the main people who on monpessor decided to stop the disease and leaving the village. But that's a bit of history for you. If we carry on up here, quite a distance, but we'll find the Riley graves and I'll give you some more information on that one. And that's just a sign to tell you right direction. Top left hand side, 250 metres after a turn right, so we'll find it. This is Riley Farm, the entrance to it. And that what we're coming up now is the actual Riley graves. So we'll look at that in a second. Right, behind me that's the Riley graves. You can see that. Let's explore it now. I've been here before, like a few times, but I've never filmed it, so I am going to be respectful. But I'll just show you and tell you a story about the Hancock family and the mother and the victims of the family who died. But anyway, that's where we're going, and we'll have a look now. So let's have a look at it then. It looks like I'm going to have to do a longer journey to get up to Monpessor, but this is the Riley graves. It's a National Trust property there, and it's got a wall built round it. It's in sacred memory of the Hancock family, a victim of the plague, between the 3rd of August and the 3rd of August 1666 to the 10th. And I think there were 7 members of the family died. But obviously that's the Riley farm up there. That's where she lived with the family. And apparently she dragged them all the way this way to bury them. Of its space, I think it were a week. So we'll have a look and I'll give some more information. But let's have a quick look in here first of all. It's very sludgy. So just so let's zoom out of that. They're very weathered stones, aren't they? Let's see, make it that way. Right, I can't really see. That's John Hancock. That's the dad. Let's see if I can see anything else. That's owner. Can't really see names on them. Let's have a look. Can't really see names. That's William. That one there. Right, I'll get you a story in a second. So I'll try my best to tell you a story regarding this. So obviously this is like a National Trust property now, basically, with to put a wall around it to protect it. I don't know if these stones were the original ones. I'm not sure, but I'll give you the story and what happened. So that was the farm where Elizabeth Hancock and her family lived up there. They lived at Riley Farm and with her husband and 6 children. Within 8 days she'd buried 6 children and her husband. Let me just knock that off, I don't know why it's going on. So John Hancock Jr., son and daughter Elizabeth died the same day, the 3rd of August 1666, where she dragged them across here and buried them on the hill just above the farm. So that was the first stage of it in that 8-day period, or 7 days, whatever it were. 4 days later, 3 more died. On the 7th of August, her husband John, which is that one there, I believe. And then and William, the youngest child, and daughter Honor, aged 3. So that would be that one. Let's have a look. So that had been the father. That were Honor. The 9th, so that was the 7th of August 1666. That were husband and William, which I think, I'm not sure which one it is now. And then on the 9th of August 1666, Alice, aged 15, she died. On the 10th of August 1666, and Anne, a 10-year-old, died. She buried them all within 8 days. How terrible is that? But that's what this were. It were a burial site, but she survived. She survived, so she must have cared for them, but survived, so she must have been immune to it. But that's the Riley farm where they would have lived. So that's owner. I'm just trying to work out this. Is that's Elizabeth, if you can see that. That's John. Let's have a look at this one. I don't know which one is here. Unless that's John Jr. I can't really see it because it's all That must have been the father's grave. That was John Jr. Let's have a quick look at these while we get a chance. Very slippy. That's Alice. That's Annie. And that is William. So that's all the family within 8 days that passed on with the Black Plague, the Black Death, the plague. Terrible that. Wow. I can't imagine what would have been going through her mind. Dragging her own family and having to bury him. All family members. Wow, that's... don't bear thinking of it, does it really? But yeah, that's the Riley graves, as promised. Could have done with a better day really, but yeah, such a tragedy that. That's the Riley graves. Yeah. I didn't get to film this last time I was here, so I'm glad I've done it, but it tells you a story, doesn't it? That were horrendous for that lady, bless her. There you go. But anyway, we'll go to the village now. I want to go to Monpessor, well, which is up there somewhere, but I think there's a road what takes you up to the top. I'll see if I can get it, but anyway, so hope you've appreciated all the effort I've made to get up here, but that one will be a killer. Right, onwards and upwards. Incidentally, it started, the plague in this village, in the summer of 1665, and it arrived from London. So, but when I get to that cottage, I'll tell you all about what happened and who it was, and bits and bobs. But scattered all over the village, there's plague cottages, and a lot were buried in their own backyards. We've seen the Lingate ones, we've seen the Riley graves. I'm not sure if there's some top end in the village, and there's museum as well I want to visit. Okie dokie. I've actually got my drone today, so but it's a little bit windy and it's wet, so I don't know if I'll get it up. But I need to be up there somewhere, but I think there's only one way around it, and that's going a long way around. But I did speak to a couple, lovely couple I spoke to up there, and they said there should be some type of path after this wooded area, but I haven't seen it yet. But anyway, we'll continue with this. Don't ask about these, I know room in my bag for them until I drop this stuff off its thing, but there is another path what takes me up there somewhere, so we'll find it shortly I think. If not, we'll have to walk through village. Well, it's the Miners' Arms Croft. Many at Vixen who lived here at the end of the village were buried here. The memorial stones have been removed, so they must have been in there. So there were Mary, Emmott, Elizabeth and Thomas died on them dates. One memorial stone, Ed Ovin Derby, had the inscription Bridget Talbot, Anno Domino 1666, so they must have been buried here, but the stones have gone. I don't know if that were like something to do with mine, like a miner's building. But we'll go back into things. At least it's brightening up now and all, isn't it? So that's quite good. I'm glad it's brightening up now. I might take my hat off. This is another one. This is John Torr's house. Died 29th of July 66. Jeffrey's son aged 8 died 3rd August 66. His wife Joan survived. And if you look here, that's a bull ring. That used to be the centre of this green. What they used to do, a bull or bear tethered to the ring attached to a large block of stone was set upon by dogs as a spectacle for the villagers during the Wakes week. It was declared illegal in 1835. So that's your village bull ring, either a bull or a bear apparently. And that's my accommodation for night tonight. I don't know where I'm going to stop it in front or back, but I've booked it anyway for night. That's my watering hole. See how much it is a pint, but dates back to 1630, formerly the King's Head. So I'll let you know what it's like when I get inside it. There's another plague victim house, with formerly the Foresters' Homes, formerly an inn built on the site of the family graveyard and dating back from the plague period. Sadly the gravestones were broken up when the building was erected, so there might be a dead body under the early foundations. This is the village green. I don't know if you can hear me, it's a bit windy. And we'll head up towards church and see if there's any more we can find. But this is Church Street anyway. We'll have a look what's up here. It's an old building, isn't it? It's private. That's the village club, Eyam Mechanics Institute. So I might call in there for a pint later on, just have a wander around. And this is the church. But we'll have a look around this. I've got time to do it. I've got 2 hours. We'll have a look. This is another one. This was the Bull's Head Inn. The earlier building on this site was called Talbot Inn and for many generations was run by the Talbot family. The last of them died unmarried in 1813. So this replaced the Talbot, which closed and converted into flats in 2000. This is St Lawrence's Church. There's no sign up. I was looking like I'm thinking, what's it called? It's called St Lawrence. Just have a quick look round this graveyard because there's a couple of things I want to show you. I wonder if it's open today. I bet we'll have a look anyway. It should be open. Unless it's another entrance. This is quite an interesting grave, this one here. And then I'll show you Reverend Monpessor's wife's grave. Look at that. It's a bit spooky, isn't it? I don't know what they're for though. Are they a chain round that or something? 2 urns. And that's and like a timer, a sand timer. So that's telling you how long you've got left. But there's not much. I'll try and find out some information about that one. But this grave up here, this was the Reverend Monpessor's wife's grave. She died during plague because she stayed here with her husband. And some interesting stuff on here because Catherine Monpessor, who died in the plague August 25th, 1666. Now, if you look at her name, Catherine Monpessor, Monpesson, look, they've had to put another letter in, haven't they? Can't really. Some nice snowdrops around it, isn't there? But that, there must have been a spelling mistake when they did it. But yeah, that was his wife, Reverend Monpessor, so she didn't survive plague. And there's a Celtic cross here. But apparently that was fetched from somewhere else and that was put in there. But we'll have a look in church anyway, we'll have a look round. And the memorial to the Thomas Stanley, we mentioned him earlier. Which one is it? Where is it? I can't see it. That's a bit strange. Is this it? Don't Couldn't really tell you. I think this is Thomas Stanley's. Yeah, you can't really see writing on it, if I'm honest. We'll have a look at church, and there's a sundial here from 1775. Sundial. But we'll have a look inside now. We'll have a nose inside it while we're here. There's another one here. Annabelle, can't pronounce it. Died 1666, so this is another one. I can't really see what it says, but that's another one there. And some old ones there. Is it open? So this is St. Lawrence. We'll have a look round here. Let's have a look. Got some information now, let's have a look. I think this is the Book of the Dead. That's the name of people what died. We'll have a look round. And this must be the original book, what was it all scribed that people what died 1664 to 1665. And monpessor's there. 1664, where's Stanley? Oh, he's there. No? They took him off, didn't they? That's the stained glass window. Let's have a look at this. So that's the death of the tail. I'll tell you, explain, give a bit more information about that after. That's monpessor. That's them discussing what they're going to do. That's the well. That's the Riley graves that we've been to see. And that's the Celtic cross. And that one monpessor. And that's the guy what died, the tailor's assistant, within a week. That's the nave painting on there. See him? Not very good with light, is it? That's a plague cupboard, according to form. That's the plague window. I'll tell you this story. That's how it started. And that's when we discussed it. And that's the end of it. And this must be the original book, what was it all scribed that people what died 1664 to 1665. And monpessor's there. 1664, where's Stanley? Oh, he's there. No? They took him off, didn't they? That's the stained glass window. Let's have a look at this. So that's the death of the tail. I'll tell you, explain, give a bit more information about that after. That's monpessor. That's them discussing what they're going to do. That's the well. That's the Riley graves that we've been to see. And that's the Celtic cross. That one monpessor, and that's the guy what died, the tailor's assistant, within a week. It's the Norman font. Looks pretty modern, doesn't it? And that's the monpessor chair. That one is chair. Monpessor. The Reverend's chair. And that's your east window. You can see them paintings better there, can't you? I don't know where they're day back to. I'll have to put it on camera, on film if I can at some stage, but I'll have to try and find out. And that's the monpessor chair. That one is chair. Monpessor. The Reverend's chair. And that's your east window. You can see them paintings better there, can't you? I don't know where they're day back to. I'll have to put it on camera, on film if I can at some stage, but I'll have to try and find out. That's the actual memorial for Reverend Thomas Stanley there. It tells you, you've seen it there, Thomas Stanley. So that was the other guy what were involved. We isolated village. The Bagshaw house, home of the Siddle family. All them, Richard, Sarah, John, Helen, Elizabeth, Alice, Emma, Elizabeth, John Daniel, no, George is still aged 3, survived. So this is another one. And then we'll cross over here. I think we'll come to the tailor soon, assistant, it all started. So this is the Oxford family. Peter, third victim, died on the 23rd of September 1665. Humphrey, aged 15 months, their son died 17th of October. Jane was sole survivor in the household, altogether including her in-laws. She lost 25 relatives in the village. Right, George Vickers. So this is the it all started. So this is when it all starts. Village of Eyam, obviously, or Eyam, experienced an outbreak in the plague in the summer of 1665. It started allegedly in Eyam when a flea-infested cloth arrived for the tailor Alexander Hadfield, and that's him down there. His assistant George Vickers, he was that one, the first plague victim there. Opened the wet cloth and dried it, and the cloth were infested with plague, infested fleas. So it started, and he was the first person to die. So George Vickers, he was first victim of plague to die, and within a week the deaths of all the rest of the household followed. It started when village people started dying then. So this way it started initially. I don't know if that's true, but that's what they say. But he's the first victim, and then it cleared all household out. These are the cottages. There's some more further up. Nice little wind chimes there going off, isn't there? And then Rose Cottage. 9 members of the Thorpe family lived here and all died. Thomas Thorpe, Mary in September, October, December. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. Rose Cottage. That's nice, that little chiming, isn't it? But that's where George Vickers and Hadfield were at the tailor. We'll just cross over. Eyam. This was built after the event. This is known as the Brick House. A unique name for all the other buildings are in local stone. It was once an inn called the Stag Parlour. It was converted into a private residence in 1828. So it was a pub, entertainment centre, and then you've got your village stocks here. Obviously a mauling background there. That's the original village stocks. It's not open. So George Vickers, he was first victim of plague to die, and within a week the deaths of all the rest of the household have followed. It started when village people started dying then. So this week started initially. I don't know if that's true, but that's what they say. But he's the first victim, and then it cleared all household out. These are the cottages. There's some more further up. Nice little wind chimes there going off, isn't there? And then Rose Cottage. 9 members of the Thorpe family lived here and all died. Thomas Thorpe, Mary in September, October, December. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. Rose Cottage. That's nice, that little chiming, isn't it? But that's where George Vickers and Hadfield were at the tailor. We'll just cross over. Eyam. This was built after the event. This is known as the Brick House. A unique name for all the other buildings are in local stone. It was once an inn called the Stag Parlour. It was converted into a private residence in 1828. So it was a pub, entertainment centre, and then you've got your village stocks here. Obviously a mauling background there. That's the original village stocks. It's not open. obviously you've seen Thomas's wife's grave, Thomas Monpessor, Reverend Thomas. I think I've got that right. If I've got it wrong, I have to put it on screen. But she's buried in graveyard. I didn't realise I thought it was his daughter, but it was his wife. She stayed with him. She didn't leave. She could have left, but she stayed with him, and she died. She contracted plague, and there's like a problem with name, isn't there? The O's been put in, so it must have been spelt wrong. I bet they're putting in or something. That's what. But there's a nice little bowl there. This is the Eyam courtyard. But it's something different, isn't it? But enjoy my coffee, and then we'll call it museum and have a look at that. See you shortly. So the plague, it was known as the Black Death, highly contagious, and the fatality up to 6%. Symptoms would be swollen lymph nodes, baubles, lumps in your groin, armpits and neck, eye fever, chills, headaches, nausea and vomiting, weakness and fatigue, and black spots on your skin and delirium. So when you got it, you just 60% chance of dying. It wiped lots of people in different countries, didn't it? From 1400s onwards, and it come in here 1665, so it arrived, I think it were in Italy in 1400s, late 1400s, and then it obviously swept across Europe, didn't it, into London and into the UK, but all because there were infested bacteria fleas in rats, and they were laying eggs and things, and then we're getting all over, and that's what happened with that cloth, that tailor's cloth. There were fleas in there. He's dried cloth out and they've jumped out. So that's how it all started here. 14 months it lasted, and lots of people. I mean, it nearly wiped the full community out. If it wasn't for them stopping where they were, it would have been worse. A bit like modern day now with COVID, isn't it? It's a museum. Right, up to Monpessor Well, that nearly a mile up here. Have a look at that. Hope you've enjoyed that museum. Only a fiver, but there wasn't much in it if I'm honest, but it tells you a story about the place. But I might as well do it all while I'm here. So Monpessor Well will be next when we get to the top of here. View Eyam from here, up to the top of this hill. See the old valley there, can't you? Footpath. I might go back down there. Taking me down into the village and rather than walk all the way down that end, but it's a bit of a, without a car, which you know I don't drive, it's a bit of a nightmare. I always pick the hills, don't I? But onwards and upwards. I think when we got to the top of this, just round the corner, and then it sorts, it's top of the hill. It's only about 7 for a mile from bottom, but we'll have to see, won't we? Bit of stream there going off and all. That way, so that looks a bit rough and ready, doesn't it? I think it's just top side of here. Just a word of warning, if you're walking up it's quite steep. And I'm buggered a bit, but I want to get it all in while I'm here. And the rain stopped. At least it's gone a bit warmer now and sunnier for now. Yeah, should not but rain, but we'll have a look at this now. I think we're just about here. And this is the Monpessor Well. Here we go. let's have a look. Have a breather first and then we'll look at it. But that's it down there. So this were the this were the northern point where they used to drop food off. So we seen southern point, which were that way, that stone where we holes in, and this one another point where they used to leave food. I think there was money in there last time I come, but I can't see anything. It's cleaning out, doesn't it? But that is the well. So this were another dropping off point for food and things, and people used to pay. I can't see much. I wonder if somebody took money out. Bit of a night to get up here though, from bottom. We had a car. Sometimes I wish I could drive, but that's your monpessor well. So I've got it all in theory, in one day. Probably do a bit tomorrow. I don't want to get my drone up really because it's a bit windy. As you can see, them clouds are gathering again with rain. But another historic point. This one, some type of stream or something when it used to run. It's a water supply, wasn't it? But depends how deep it goes, because it comes from underneath there, doesn't it? But that's your monpessor well anyway. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that little bit there, because that's it's took me ages to get up here and I'm buggered. Just another part of historic village, isn't it? Part of its history. Having to come up here to eat and all. Bear in mind they're all poorly. But I'll show you this sign here. There's an Eyam cross and that's in church. So, but that was moved from somewhere else, that apparently. But I'll show you that in a minute. That's the cross, what's in the graveyard. Let me see that very well, I'm losing light. But one good thing about it, it's all downhill, isn't it? Back down there. Need to get into me digs and unpack what I've got. But I'm a bit filthy, it's been very wet today. I'm glad the sun's come out, but I ain't got much left here now. And I don't really want to go down the footpath because it might be sludgy and slippy. And I don't want to go down that brook, do I? Looks a bit steep for me. I'm stick-tip paths. I don't mind doing it in summer. But that's your Eyam, innit? This is the whole hill troughs. There. Troughs are so called because of the nearby Bradshaw Hall. They form part of a series of troughs established in 1558, many of which still remain, providing water for domestic as well as agricultural use. This use was confirmed by the Eyam Enclosure Act of 1803. The system is said to be the first public water supply in the country. Well, let's have a look. It's all cobbled, isn't it? So that's coming from hills. Wouldn't fancy drinking it now, would you? And there's this little bit here as well. The Everends troughs, these two troughs were part of the 1588 system. The eye trough was reported to be mainly for use for horses and things. Where's the troughs? I can't see the troughs, but this is, they do it annually every year. They get a sheep and they roast it. I think it's the 30th of August 2025. And you get something to eat. Just a traditional thing, isn't it? But that's part of it all, and that's St Lawrence's Church. I think I've done it all really, haven't I? There's the only one I wanted to show you, but I'll do that tomorrow. I think it's that where the Reverend took them for sermons rather than all coming to church. I can't remember naming it. I'll put it on video anyway. This is the whole hill troughs. There. Troughs are so called because of the nearby Bradshaw Hole. They form part of a series of troughs established in 1558, many of which still remain, providing water for domestic as well as agricultural use. This use was confirmed by the Eyam Enclosure Act of 1803. System is said to be the first public water supply in the country. Well, let's have a look. It's all cobble, isn't it? So that's coming from hills. Wouldn't really fancy drinking it now, would you? And there's this little bit here as well. The Everends troughs, these two troughs were part of the 1588 system. The eye trough was reported to be mainly for use for horses and things. Where's the troughs? I can't see the troughs, but this is, they do it annually every year. They get a sheep and they roast it. I think it's the 30th of August 2025. And you get something to eat. Just a traditional thing, isn't it? But that's Port at All and that's St Lawrence's Church. I think I've done it all really, haven't I? There's the only one I wanted to show you, but I'll do that tomorrow. I think it's that where the Reverend took them for sermons rather than all coming to church. I can't remember naming it. I'll put it on video anyway. Well, we've enjoyed that 6 hours escapade. I'm absolute knackered, but this is my accommodation. I deserved a pint after all that walking and bath I've done. So, room review will be next, won't it? But this is where I'm going. Hope you've enjoyed it and stay tuned for some more. If you have not subscribed, subscribe, it's free, remember. Catch you later, thank you, bye.